I'm now on the record. I remember to hit record this time. So yeah, we're just talking about last week and going to the Periscope Summit in New York, and we just it was just so amazing. And I think it was very surreal as well, because obviously a lot of the people we were in the same room as and meeting up with, we'd only ever seen at the end of our phone screens. And that is what made it even more strange. That I
have to say though, there's quite a few.
We could talk to them.
I know, it was really weird. People are like, "Can I touch you?
Yeah.
Holding you, patting you. Oh, this is odd." But yeah, I think there's actually quite a few people off Blab who use Periscope and Blab, so that was really interesting, because I felt with the people I'd met on Blab, I felt it felt slightly easier to connect because
knew them better almost, didn't it? Even though, a lot of the people on Periscope are like doing the whole share your life thing, because you've never actually had a conversation with them. It was a little bit voyeurism kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Whereas on Blab, you've had the conversation, you've spoken to them, and then it was just like, oh, hi! Like, was just talking to you yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
It was so surreal. And it was literally like just meeting up with people you had known for so long. Like, me and Hannah went out for dinner the first night I arrived there. I was literally like fresh off the plane. And she messaged me and was like, oh, let's go for dinner, you know. And I'd never actually met Hannah in real life before. We don't live very far from each other. And we don't ever spoken like this and sort of private message each other and things like that. And we went off to meet for dinner. It was just like, hi.
Yeah, the poor waitress. Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah. We must have been talking for 40 minutes before we ordered food.
He gets on like coming back going, he's ready. We're like, we don't look at the menu, do we? And that is one of the, like, you can almost bring that to, I'm not going to say the negative, because that's another point about offline relationships. But I think the enormous positive is these new live streaming, and especially things like Blab, and obviously we was there for Periscope, are allowing you to make so many more connections in your life, be it business or be it personal. And like I said, what I think I've probably taken more personal away from this whole experience than actual business. Even though, yes, I have learned an awful lot on the business side. Thank you for new people just joining us. And probably learned a lot about what I want to do in my own business. It's given me a lot of ideas for my clients' businesses. Also gave me a lot of ideas, like sort of watching other people go, oh, you'd be so good if you did this, and like you'd do really well if you do this, and oh, yeah, I think you should do this. And I think like I ended up giving a lot of people a lot of advice, and what I found was a lot of people, they were really grateful for it, and it sort of made me realize that yes, I work in this industry, and I've been in this industry an awful long time. Like, it was only last night I was still trying to finish my blog post, and Hannah's going, oh, this blog post is taking
just get it out there now. Come on,
everywhere is this blog post. But I was actually thinking, and then Sunday I was like, do you know what, I was helping people, I was doing websites for people in the year 2000. Like, that is like nearly 16 years ago. That is how long I've been bloody knocking around in this industry. That is longer than some of the people attending that event have been out of nappies. Like, that is true, by the way. And it kind of, and I was like, do you know what? I have an awful lot of experience, an awful lot of knowledge, business knowledge, online knowledge, just a little bit older and wiser. And there were so many people I was saying, try this, use your content like this, repurpose it like this. And they're like, I never thought of that, but that's a brilliant idea. So I felt I offered a lot to other people in that respect. And I was kind of happy with that. I was okay with that. Yeah.
Why don't you tell people that don't know who you are a little bit about what you do? So then that makes sense.
I presume everyone knows who I am. They certainly did after the past week. Clues in the title. Names, obviously it's Sam Martin. Only my mother calls me Samantha. I work in social media, but I'm more about the overall online presence. So not just about what you put on your social media, also that everything you do is a true representation of you and your business. I also recently, and I kept it a little bit quiet, this one, because I've been doing a lot of work in the background, but I've also launched a digital PR agency, which is hey from Sydney, Australia. We've got friends in Sydney now.
We do.
We like our friends in Sydney. Anyway, so yeah, I'd also launched a digital PR agency as part of my own business anyway, that deals specifically with things like bloggers and also people who are live streaming or YouTubers and matching them up to the right brands. So because I get a lot of brands who are my clients or perhaps want to work with me who don't have enough budget to fully work with me, and they'll be like, we'd love it just to work with some bloggers and things like that. So I'm actually now offering a service to match the two together. Like that.
Cool.
Yes. Hannah, over to you.
So Sam is from that side and I am from a completely different side. I am a procrastination coach for solopreneurs that work from home. So for me, as a scoper, I was like, how can I grow from this? What can I learn to help me as a business? And kind of tips and like live streaming and how that is going to affect me as someone that uses it as a tool for social media. So as you can already spot, we were slightly different in how we were looking at it, but we drew obviously different conclusions. But I feel for me, what I've learned is kind of floating to the surface now that I'm away from it. I think when you're in it, you're really busy. Summits and conferences are always so jam-packed that sometimes it takes a week to kind of digest all the different elements. So for me, I feel like there were moments in it when I was like, whoa, aha moment. But now sitting back, being at home, now I'm like, right, in reality, what does this mean?
Absolutely. I mean, do you keep getting like funny little flashbacks as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, time to implement. Exactly. It's kind of like, right, I've got this bag of information that I got, and it's like, right, now I'm unpacking it and putting them into little piles, thinking, right, what am I going to do with it? Because there was a lot going, all the senses were going, everything was going.
It was crazy. It was literally like sensory overload at some point, and you were just like, like that. Quite literally, honestly.
Just like that.
It's like I think though, like as an event, you can't fault the organisers at all. Like total and utter respect to Kathy and Ryan. They are both lovely, genuine, very nice, very down to earth people. Actually, on what night was it? It was Monday night, wasn't it? And I ended up sat with Kathy, just me, Kathy, and someone else for ages, just chatting away, just in the hotel bar, like chatting away. Did we come away with solid implement? That would involve so that's a really great question. Did you come away with a solid implementation? I can't even say implementation. I'm not today. Action plan. In my head, yes. Have I put it on paper? No. Because I only arrived back on Monday morning, and yesterday was a bit of a blur.
The jet lag blur.
So yeah, as I was saying about the actual event itself, like they were bold and brave to put an event like that on because nobody had a clue. Like, back off, all right. He knows me well enough to know that's a compliment, by the way.
Yeah.
And I think the next one will be bigger and it will be better and there will be changes and there will be format changes. But you know what? For like a first event that they had no clue what they were getting into, like they pulled it off. happy day. We've all come home very happy. Like, and I think most people have come home exceedingly happy with their experience and what they learned and what they saw and who they met and everything else about it. So that's a complete positive.
In terms of going back to Rebecca saying, you know, pick 3 tasks to implement in the next week and things like that, I think everyone took away completely different things. So it was like just different talks of different subjects. So it wasn't kind of like, come on, everyone, now you've done this, you've got to do that. It wasn't kind of like that. It was kind of like, this is my experience. This is how I've shared on Periscope. And so you've got to translate it into your world. So I think there's been a couple of gains, which is more for the long-term strategy of how to use live streaming.
Yeah.
But there are little things that, yes, I need to implement this week, especially things like legal, because that was quite an interesting
that was the one. Hannah didn't go in the legal discussion.
I missed it, and I'm gutted.
And I literally came running out of it. I was like, and she was like, okay.
I know. I was like, what the hell happened in that room?
And it was the legal discussion, I think, there was 3 discussions of the whole event that completely stood out for me. The others, some were good, some were bad, some were like, why the fucking are you even here? Some who loved the sound of their own voice a little bit. Ooh, did I say bad thing? But there were 3. That was the legal, which to me should have been first. It should have been as soon as everyone was in the door, like, sit and listen to me, because there was an awful lot of people who needed to hear the stuff about the legal, who are copyright breaching left, right and centre and have an awful lot of hearts because they do it. There was, what was the other really good one? I said 3, didn't I? Brian Fandler.
Yeah.
That was really good. His title was We is Greater Than Me. And what he said resonated in that, do you know what? It ain't about you. Sorry, it's not. It's about your audience and what value you can bring to your audience. Stop trying to collect followers. Stop trying to get hearts. Stop trying to win the imaginary online popularity contest, because guess what? It don't freaking exist.
Doesn't mean anything.
You need to win at life and real life and nurturing that community, like, rather than like being. Yes, an awful lot of scopers are all about the scoper. We will come to that in a minute. One point, I'm probably going to. You may all need to get yourself really comfy before I go on about that point. But yeah, we is greater than me. And I think anyone that truly understood content. And how, I'm glad you've got a cup of tea. You're going to need it. You might need a brandy in it by the time I've finished. Yeah, if you truly understand content, if you truly understand how content can either leverage your brand, leverage your person, or leverage the help you can provide someone else, you got that speech. It made your little brain cog start ticking and probably made you totally reevaluate the content you are producing. If anybody hasn't seen it, please go and find it on Catch. It will be on catch.me. Yeah. It is well worth a look. But if you know about content, if you know enough about content marketing, or any, like, just the online game, you're going to get it. The last one, let me just take a mouthful. I'm like, bleh. The last one was
I know that is a mug, isn't it? It's massive.
I know, it's huge, isn't it? I'll need a wee halfway through this.
Interval.
We may have to have an interval. Yeah, the last one that really, really, really struck a massive chord with me was Derek Cowan. Please, if you have not heard of Derek, please go and find him. It's Derek Cowan, Cowan. His handle is Entrepreneur OAJ. Derek is awesome.
Write that in the sidebar.
Yeah, because I can't tell.
You'll do that later.
Somebody else do it. But yeah,
no.
I was doing, where's she gone? Come back. I was very much wanted to support Derek, like being part of my team Britain Irish. She's back again. Let me just put her back in.
What a fatal error. Sorry.
As a fellow Brit, I was all about we need to support each other. So I was there and I was dragging people in. No, come on, you got to go and see Derek's. And I went in, and the guy was there on his own. Like he's a very, I won't say he's an introvert, but he ain't like a gobshite that's out there.
He's quite a reserved character. He's really nice when you talk to him one-to-one, but maybe in a group setting he isn't the one to step forward and
not
really talk loud.
No. So I sort of muscled my way in, and I was like, give me your phone, I will live scope it for you so your audience, your community can see your speech. And I am so glad I did that. I was the only person. Now, his speech was phenomenal. It was really, really good.
It was really good.
An amazing public speaker, and he doesn't actually do it. Like, that was just like crazy for me. He was totally polished in what he did, and he was really good at it. But I was holding his phone, so I could see the comments on his screen from his broadcast, which nobody else in that room could see. And I was struggling to hold the tears back, whilst concentrating on holding his phone still, so his audience didn't get all wonky vision. It was, gobshite is a technical term that I invented. Yes, I totally trademark it. But yeah, I was reading the comments, and it was a game changer for me, in that I realised that Derek has this online game absolutely nailed. His audience are so engaged. They absolutely care. They are on that journey with him. If you don't know what he's actually doing, he's going on a journey to visit 50 countries to help 50 charities and do random acts of kindness. And he is an exceedingly kind person. None of this is about him. He has a great audience. He's got a lot of hearts. He's got a lot of followers, and the commenting. They're not. If you watch some top scopes, it's all about the hi. You're so hot. Oh, you've got pretty eyes. Like, that's what the comments are. Read the comments. That's all it is, and that's not engaged. I'm sorry. As much as some people think they have a truly engaged audience, and their audience really love them, all they do is going, you're so hot, you've got pretty eyes, say hi.
Engage is really getting into a discussion, something that will affect people and their day that they're going to have.
Yes.
And that definitely happened with Derek's.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's what Derek's were. They cared so much about him. They cared so much about the journey he was on. They cared so much about what he is doing. And it was amazing to watch. It really, really was. Afterwards, I felt, I'm going to be a bit controversial here.
Here we go.
I know. I don't think Derek got the support or the recognition from a lot of the people there that could have done a lot to help his cause, to help him raise the funds for what he's doing, just to give him that just to give him a shout out, for God's sake. Like, just to say, do you know what? You're kind of cool, and what you're doing is amazing, and I want my community to support you. That's all some people had to do, and they didn't. And I felt that was a shame. However, on Sunday afternoon before I left, I went out. Oh God, a lot. Like, don't put messages that bloody long in the thing. I'm not going to read them later. I went out for the afternoon with Derek on Sunday, and we went for breakfast, then we ended up going out. And if anybody actually saw the scope, we ended up messing around in Central Park on the carousel and the kids' bloody roundabouts and everything. But we had a great laugh, and I got to know him a lot better. And what struck me was that he is totally unaffected by his online fame. It means nothing to him. He's not bothered about his heart count. that to him is, it's just, it's a number, whatever. What he's bothered about is how he can leverage the community that he has built into doing good in the world. Totally winning at it. That is exactly what this is about. It's what more people should be doing. And from that, I think it's very important that if you want internet fame or you can grow a very big audience, have some purpose to it. Have a goal. Have a direction that you are taking your audience on, because internet fame will be more fickle than the predicted Orwell 15 minutes.
And you shouldn't chase it. You should not chase the fame.
The fame is going to eat you up. It's going to spit you out. And it's probably going to cause you an awful lot of psychological damage in the future, because a lot of these people are very young that are doing this. They're not savvy enough. They're not wise enough to know how to play the game. And I think they may have problems down the line. If you are chasing the internet fame for the greater good,
that's different.
You will do better. You will do a lot better. And the thing is, you don't even have to do it for a charitable cause. You could actually be building your audience to then build a business for yourself. And there were some people there who had great audiences, but they had no clue where they were taking that audience. Yeah. And we're kind of producing the same content day in, day out. That's going to get boring. It's going to get dry. Like it's gonna lose momentum. And some other cool kid is going to come along and just knock you off your perch. So unless you have some form of purpose, and if that purpose is building a business, then great. And be strategic about it and be clever about it, but still produce amazingly great content. So back to Derek. Everyone watching this now, please just tweet him. Please say hello to him. Tell him I sent you. Tell him I was still wearing my uniform, because they'll be proud of me for wearing my uniform. And please help him in his journey, because you'll probably feel better about yourself.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He definitely had a life story, and it was pretty. I don't know. It takes you to a place that sometimes people close off, but he was very open about it, and there's a strength in that, a very big strength. Yes, great. We've got Michael following.
Good, thank you. Send him a tweet. I really appreciate it.
And I think one thing we learned from Periscope Summit is everyone was like, this is great, it's about community. But everyone also acknowledged that maybe Periscope won't be around forever. However, live streaming will be, because it's the next thing. It was that, you just put a status up on Twitter or Facebook, then it was YouTube and videos, and now it's the next thing, which is live video. And people see that as a long-term change. And so a lot of people, yes, it was for Periscope, but we're taking it away as in how live streaming is going to affect. So it might have seemed like it was just Periscope, but really the discussions were kind of, people were acknowledging that, yes, this isn't just about this app.
I think
it's about
if you were smart enough, you knew how to apply what was being said about Periscope to all live stream, probably all online content. I think some people there, is that the price ticket on the bottom of the mug? Probably, because I just flag before I made it.
Hilarious. That is hilarious.
But yeah, I think if anyone who was there who was smart enough knew not just to apply what they learned to Periscope, to apply it to everything. Anyone who was truly savvy enough knew that, Periscope's just an app. It can go tomorrow. It probably won't, because it's got good backing, it's got good funding, it's part of Twitter. Twitter has been around for a long time now, but it's still just a something. Who remembers Bebo, which is actually where Blab has come from? Who remembers Bebo? Bebo was shit. It was full of kids. MySpace, they all were huge and dominated in their time. Now nobody gives a shit. So it is a case of things will come and go. You just have to learn the principles and then how to apply them to other platforms.
And Phil's put that Blab is much more community. I think because of how we're talking, yes. And I think Periscope is for a lot, because there's so many people on Periscope now, it's going up by the millions ridiculously fast. I think a lot of people were discussing how Periscope's kind of like how to catch people, and then you can carry on that conversation on Blab. It's like, how do you utilize this tool and then move it across? So I think it kind of opened people's eyes to the possibilities. I think it was kind of like, okay, accepting all this information, what can I actually use? Periscope is for those who want to broadcast. Blab is for those who want to communicate.
Absolutely.
Interesting. But I think people, like, one thing I say about Periscope is it's much more about your life. Blab is much more about a topic, I think, because you can go really deep on a topic. Yeah, the topic might be about your life, but it can go really deep for a certain amount of time. Periscope can kind of be in the moment. This is me. This is where I live. This is where I've been traveling. Look at this moment right now that I'm in. Or this is my message I want to say right now. So it's slightly different angle. And obviously different people like different ways of communicating.
Trina just made a really good point there in the comments about, she says, I think you can engage on Periscope, but many don't. That's so true.
That's very true, yeah.
That engaging is just going, hang on, I'm going to demonstrate. Hi. Hi. Thanks for joining. Hi. Where are you from? Ooh, that's a nice place. Hi. 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 Oh, you think I'm hot? Thanks. Hi. That's what some people think engaging is. And that's what a lot of people are doing on Periscope. And we've seen them do it. Quite literally. Not sure if flashing your arse is engaging.
No.
Don't know. Perhaps I should try it.
There are some Periscopes you just know by, yeah, it just doesn't look right. You're like, no. But yeah, there is engagement, and then there is real community engagement, and there is a difference. And I think the community engagement is when you say, right, this is our purpose as a community. Let's do something good, or let's do something in our community, and let's make you think about it and turn you into a better version of yourself, or whatever it is. And I think there are some people that are doing a fantastic job on that. It's just it's quite hard to find the people, I think, if I'm being honest. And I like the Periscope Summit because it highlighted certain people that you have never heard of, but you've been missing out, like Derek.
Sorry, I need to laugh a minute because you know what I'm laughing about. You said people I've never heard of, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Well, there's so many people I don't watch. For a start, you can't have 1 million people as people to follow. That's just ridiculous. You do have to be selective. But yeah, I have to say, Blab and trust, it does accelerate it because you're having like a conversation.
Yeah,
it's much deeper. It's not, let's say you can rehearse and practice and choreograph a Periscope to an inch of its life, even though it's live. How the hell do you think the BBC News do it? They practice and they have it set, and that's all live. But Blab is kind of like practice to a point. You may have your keynotes, but then you've got this communication from the sidebar crew. Then you've got people throwing in on the seats. So it just changes it.
Yeah, I think something I learned. Oh, I'm going to be controversial again.
Oh, no. She's so controversial.
Some people are putting an awful lot of effort into the pre-production of their scopes.
Oh, now please explain that one.
I can't because I'm going to give away who it is.
Well, no, give us little.
Some people literally. I'm not going to name names, okay? I'm not going to name names because that's not very nice, and they're not bad people either. But they make it look like they're broadcasting completely on the fly. Like, hi, I'm just jumping on now. Blah, 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 blah. There's probably about half a day's preparation gone into it.
Really? See, this is what I learned about Periscope. A lot of it is cloak and dagger illusion.
Oh,
and I think
because going on,
smoke and mirror, you trust it because you think it's live, because you're like, oh, it's live, they must be genuine, and this is how it is. Well, we know from TV that live doesn't mean this is exactly it. And I think for some people, we've forgotten to put that frame of mind into Periscope. And so you see something that they look really relaxed on camera, they really know their stuff. You forget, actually, they've maybe gathered all that information and that. But that's interesting, actually, that you said that. Very interesting.
I'll private message you because I'm not going to say it.
I'm like, ooh.
The person to come and have a go at me.
Yeah, we don't want issues. Yeah, we're nice people.
We don't want cat fights live on the internet, do we? But just one of them that I know, Hannah, I'm not going to say who it was, but remember the comment I made about the lipstick being applied perfectly?
All right, okay,
yeah.
Chicken.
No, it's not that I'm being a chicken.
No, I think there's nothing wrong with planning, because there are some that I plan and I have few notes, but I have it planned as in I kind of know the train of thought that I'm having, and some of them do need to be planned because of where they are in the world as well. But I do think that there are some that actually always imply that it's off the cuff when it
isn't. That's what I'm referring to. It's the people who are
it's an illusion of, you understand, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm look at me, I'm just here, I just want
you, like, I've just logged on for a minute to tell you this. They haven't. They've been sat there preparing for 4 hours, and perfecting the lighting and the hair and the makeup and giving too much away.
Stop it. We don't want to get in trouble. We're really nice people.
It's only right to give full perspective that we do mention the negatives. Are we ready?
Okay.
Are we ready for this?
Okay.
Some people, unfortunately, got exceedingly exploded egos over the course of the week. They believed their own hype.
Coming out.
Yeah. They started the week as very genuine, very nice, very unaffected people. By the end of the week, it was like talking to someone you barely recognised. Enough people blew enough smoke up their arse and they totally believed their own hype. The flip side, some people arrived with overinflated egos to start with. And as much as they talk about, it's all about the community, it's not.
I think a lot of people sat in that room and kind of looked around. There was a moment when they said, it's not about you, it's about the community. And literally, I did notice quite a few people just started looking around thinking, maybe this is a bit different from what I thought of people. But that's happened. I mean, it is surreal having people come up to you and be like, oh my God, I follow your scopes. It's so great to meet you. And let's be honest, it's quite nice, but it's weird. I got a shock. I was like, whoa.
All countries, to be honest.
All countries,
not just
all
Americans.
Countries.
I have to say, I have been, I wouldn't say critical because I'm not critical of them, but there are some Americans online that sometimes I wish they would just shut the feck up. That's a different conversation about what we'd had before about how it was in the UK and Ireland, aren't playing to that game. That's a different conversation, and I'll come to that in a little bit. When you actually see that some people, their ego is going to kill them, and it will, unfortunately, not kill them literally, but they don't get that being famous on Periscope is like being rich in Monopoly. Think about that one for a second. And some people were totally buying into it. Some people got totally fandom over them. Woo! Oh, fangirl. Hannah missed one little outing I had on the Friday. Was it Friday? I sat in the hotel bar all day. I wasn't drinking.
Yeah, it was, because I was going home.
Wasn't it? And I had a great time. And I was actually there with a couple of top scoopers. But the people sort of randomly coming in to go, hi, and I was like, seriously? Like, what? Now, probably one of the things I didn't particularly get was because these two scopers I don't even watch that much. And well, one I've never watched. I actually jumped on one of their scopes yesterday just to go, hi! That was the first time I've ever watched them. And another one I'd watched a couple of times, and I took the piss out of them. But in real life, they were very, very nice people. I ended up hanging out with them quite a lot. Friday afternoon was just hilarious. But what made me laugh is the amount of people who were so starstruck by them. I kept on having to look around the room to make sure Kim Kardashian hadn't walked in, or somebody really famous. And that was scary.
There's some interesting
things now. I don't think they have. I think some people are completely just going with it. I don't think there is a plan or a strategy. I think there is some people that will. There is with some people. Are you echoing? There is certainly with some people. There is a definite plan and a definite strategy. Other people are just all of a sudden going, woo, I'm internet famous. Like, this is cool. Without a plan or a strategy. And that's where I said earlier in the broadcast that if you're going to go down the internet fame route, have a plan, have a strategy, and know the direction that you're going to go on. Otherwise, it's just going to become a little bit worthless. Question. Don't you think the use of hearts has made... Yes. I'm not even going to answer the question. Yes. And personally, I think hearts need to go. Because...
Well, it's hard because naturally you want to know.
A diplomatic thing to say.
Yeah, it's really hard. To explain. I'm getting the worst ghetto in the world.
Yeah, haven't scoped before because we are still working on strategy. Okay, that's why you need to stop overthinking it. Just do it. Do it because you probably need to do quite a few scopes to find your comfort zone. And to find what's actually going to be okay with you. Like the first few that I did, I was all about I'm going to do marketing tips. I'm going to do social media tips. I'm going to do business tips. And then I went, boring the shit out myself, let alone anyone else. And the problem there is because there's so many other people doing it, like, and joining the millions of hype brigade. So who's going to listen to me? Even though they should listen to me. So I totally rethought actually what I'm going to do completely. Don't know what yet, but I am going to do. Being on the leaderboard basically was 500 more followers a day. Yes, but are those followers any use to you? Like, if you want to be an online influencer, your audience has to be relevant to what you're influencing. So if you want to be the online influencer for
makeup products.
Thank you. Right. So that's all well and good if you're me that is going to tell you about makeup and my audience are predominantly female. It's no good if all the females are following all the boys because they're hot. How are they going to influence what lipstick shade I wear? They're not, are they?
I do think though, like, the best thing about Periscope to begin with is just get on there and get comfortable. I wouldn't say have a concept or a strategy to begin with because it's quite an unusual thing. Like, it doesn't seem that bad when you're watching, but doing it yourself can feel a bit weird. So I would recommend doing a couple to start off with that's like, this is me. This is what I want to share with you, and just get a bit comfortable with it, because the more comfortable you feel with it, the more you're going to get out of it, because you're going to get more focused on what you want to say. And I think I learned from the summit is to let more of my life into it, because I was doing some tips and things, and I felt like I had practice. You've got to practice.
You're going to find what's right for you by practicing, because sometimes what you think is right for you isn't right for you.
Yeah, and I think that I go in there, I realized, people are going to like you for you. So show people more about you in your life, because people invest in people. So like for me, I'm a coach. Yes, there's a lot of coaches out there, but you've got to show what makes you you and how you see the world, because if they understand it, they like how you talk, the way that you live, they are more likely to share you, who you are, talk about you, or even buy from you. So it's that know, like, and trust factor with anything.
Oh, Ian, you just made an amazing point that was going through my mind. Alexis Cardoza, hello. I saw you sneak in there. Yeah, I like what you say there, Ian, about like experts or gurus, and they're like, hey, and they have zero following elsewhere, and that's a great point to make. Is that if you want to be big online, you have to have a following other than on one platform. You have to be able to take that audience with you. Remember I said earlier, take the audience on the journey. He met Sam. He got the pleasure of my company. Alex is also involved in the documentary that's being made by the
Alex. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, it's really important that don't just build your audience on one platform. You've got to move that audience. What happens, and this happened to Rich, and Alex will laugh his head off about this, he got his Periscope account blocked. So if he hadn't have got that account back, then that was his audience gone. Like, gone. All the work he'd put in to building that audience upon that platform was gone. Did you not know about that? He did the shower scope thing and got his account blocked. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like in terms of business, like for me, it's about getting those people on Periscope and getting them on your email list, because your email list is your email list. That's not going to get blocked tomorrow, because that is your list that you have in your hand.
You have to own the data.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole point about anything online is if you want to use your audience constructively, you need to own the data. And the only way you can do that is actually taking people offline.
Talk to them. Even if you are, email list. But it could be that you then say, hey, if you want to talk to me, let's arrange a Skype call if we're international. Let's connect on another level. And it's about, this is how I'm going to introduce you to my world. You like it, come and see me. Then come maybe buy my product if you trust me enough. But don't be salesy 24 hours a day. I don't think that works either. You've got to show you who you are, and that is an element of it.
Yeah, no more buy my shit scopes. I'm going to start a campaign for no more buy my shit. Because honestly, if I go and watch, in fact, I've probably even followed a lot of marketers, because I just get so fed up of going on their scopes. And it's like, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit.
Yeah. And it's also like, Ian says a great thing there. Like, if you are going to say that you're open to people contacting them, actually allow that, because there are some people that are, this is from not just from Periscope Summit, it's from everyday life and different conferences. But, if they say, go and talk to these people and private message them or meet them in person and go talk to them, they'll have time for you. And then they don't give you that time. That is not good. Don't even say that you're going to give that time. Be honest and be like, I haven't got the time, so I can't offer it on Periscope. I think people are saying, oh, I'm open, contact me, and they're not being genuine. Be genuine with it. People respect you more for being honest about your time.
And it is also about, like one of the things I actually said in my scope yesterday was, it's all well and good being able to talk to people online. So talk to your phone. But if you can't hold that conversation in real life, then you're going to come a cropper. Like, you're going to, I'll meet up with you guys. Yeah, you have to. So it's all well and good building up these relationships online. But then when you take them offline, so when you meet those people in real life, you actually have to put more effort into the real life connection. Hi, person from Norway. And you have to nurture that relationship offline. Don't just then only say hello to them on your scopes when they jump in and go, hi, and you go, hi. And that's the sum total of your future relationship. Like, if you meet someone online that you then take offline and you get on really well in the offline world, pick the phone up and actually have a conversation. Have a phone call. Like, ooh, phone call. You know, I know it's a little bit novel. Like, we use our phones for other things these days, but just tap the digits. Have a phone call. Have a conversation with that person. Like, don't just keep it to the old, hi.
And someone had said before, Periscope looked like it was like a networking conference. And I have to say, it was mainly, that was the big thing that people took from it.
It's the funniest networking conference I've ever been.
It was bizarre. It was kind of like 3 to 4 days of just meeting people. It wasn't like other conferences, I would say, in terms of the learning and things. It was kind of, they created an atmosphere and an opportunity for people to do what they wanted with it. Yeah, it wasn't a conference, and I don't think it was ever intended to be like that. But I think because people didn't know what to expect, they naturally try and attach it to all other things that are as close as it can be. And I guess that's why they said it was like a school reunion. And it definitely was a community event. And I hope the next one is even more community, as in allows people to have that opportunity to, I think the problem was, if you weren't a very confident person, it was quite a tough thing to go through because you were thrown into it.
Yeah, if you were an introvert, you probably would have struggled in that environment, or perhaps not made many connections, because it was very much you just had to walk up to people and say hi, you know, like, hi. And there was many people I just like, hi, I'm gonna fucking clue who you are. Or
for me, like I'm not a type. I'm being honest. I'm all right talking on things like this, but group situations sometimes, if it's totally out of your comfort zone, I do step back, and I'm a bit like, I do attach myself to people like Sam because they are just so easy and flowing, and they were like, woo, they just go and talk to people. So for me,
I would pheromones.
I know, but I would really like it. I am going to tell them this. For me personally, I'd really like it if there was more organized activities as such that allow people to meet.
Your comment that you just made.
Meet and grow and have experiences together.
I love the comment that Alex has just made and said they were the exception with the ones who thought they were bigger than others. Oh, Alex, I love you.
Yeah.
They had to be brought down to earth. Good, Alex. And to be honest, I am totally feeling that. And I don't know if you was here just before when I said that some people changed over the course of the week. And at the start of the week, they were lovely people, genuinely, you know, they were the type of people, they get on my Christmas card list, and I don't even buy Christmas cards, and by the end
there will always be them, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it because it was only 300 to 400 people, when people behave like that, it creates a ripple, and it's so obvious, and it's quite hard to say, oi, sort it out. It is quite hard to do that. And there is
anybody know you know that song by the Saturdays where it says you need to have a sit down with your ego? It's very
pop music there.
Yeah, I'm going a bit like, you know, girl band pop music there. But it's very apt that some people like believed their own hype by the end of the week. There are some prima donnas. Oh God, yeah. But I think community spirit and other people around them hopefully will bring them back down to earth. Hopefully they'll go home and they'll get over their little bit of hype, and then they'll think to themselves, perhaps I just need to perhaps someone will offer them advice and they will take it on board. Or perhaps they'll just carry on blowing smoke up their own arse and become unpopular eventually.
I'm like Alex, I absolutely love meeting people that have watched me, and And after this event, I've started to follow people and support other people's scopes. And it was really good to connect with people that are completely out of my industry. A lot of people were from social media, but there were a lot of newbies as well that hadn't really scoped yet, but wanted to learn, which I totally understand. I think that's a great idea, to understand if it's worth their time and investment in it. And I have to say that people that had a similar mindset stuck together. Let's say it as simple as that. So we got to know a lot of people who were on the same wavelength as us because we wanted to all gain a similar thing from the event. And that was nice because it meant that you connected on a different level to what you might have in a networking environment.
Certainly. Has anybody else got any comments they want to add? By the way, don't forget to tell the little bird. You were sharing.
Tell the bird.
Tell the goddamn bird.
So yeah, it's Alex. I think if Alex wants to come up,
Alex, guess what? San Fran is also my big birthday. We're having joint celebrations. It's my 21st, as Dan said. Your big birthday. It's my 21st. That was quite funny that Dan actually shouted that right across the hotel bar at one point. And I was like, oh, don't say that out loud.
Don't make it public, please.
I know, I was publicly shamed for being an old bird.
Well, I think this, see, I'm going to be honest here. As you know, spent a lot of money in New York and I've got other things planned. So for me, San Francisco at the moment is something I just cannot think of because I think it would be crazy in terms of my bank account. My bank manager would not be happy. So for me at the moment, I'm not going to San Francisco, but I know Sam is going to San Francisco. But I want to.
Sam should be going to San Francisco. Sam should be a sensible adult because I was supposed to be buying a new house and I keep spending the deposit money. So that's not really very sensible of me. However, I kind of figure, we only get one shot at this. Buying a new house can wait. We can put up with living in the too small house for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Oh, Ian's got a really interesting thing.
Oh, you're making me read long things.
You read that, and I'll tell people about the San Fran thing. Yeah. So they did early tickets. It's now ended. So they just had an Eventbrite website, and so technically they don't have a website for San Francisco yet. But this week they're hopefully going to do more tickets for the event. They have not put. Oh, the website is up. They've got the periscopesummit.com website.
Yeah.
They had that for New York, so they'll just be updating it for San Francisco. They haven't put the location up yet,
I don't think it's not a confirmed location yet.
They said they had it, but they haven't announced it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay, Alex is the web designer.
Oh, Alex, in on the know.
He knows all of this, duh. This is so funny.
Yeah. Hang on, let me go back to Ian's points about
so funny.
It's funny that when you come out of our world of social, when you show Periscope or other social items to people, they think these American experts out of touch with UK business and want to know why so many UK follow them. Do you know what? I don't think it's so much that they are out of touch with UK business. There are a lot of cultural differences, even down to the language we speak, which, everyone... I'm going to let you in, Paul. Please be relevant. Yeah, even down to the language that we speak. Hi, Paul.
Hello, how are you, ladies?
Hi.
Jet lagged. But I don't think it is a case that they're totally out of touch because some aren't out of touch with business. Some are totally out of touch with the bleeding world. So don't get me wrong there. But I think it's more... Alex is laughing at me. No, Alex, I attract doo-doos.
Paul's ready to spend. He's got his card in his hand. He's ready to buy summit tickets. He looks like he's ready to roll.
Card machine out.
I'm just doing me invoicing and bank reconciliation. That's all.
What a combination.
Oh, tell us a bit about yourself. Shut me up talking for a minute.
Well, you sound like you're from my neck of the woods, Sam, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm a northerner.
In the world?
I'm in Preston.
Yeah, I thought so. I grew up in Manchester. I live in Surrey now. I'm a social media professional and a content producer, marketer. And I was just listening to some of the points you were making about the cultural differences of our American friends. And I couldn't agree more, actually. You're absolutely spot on. There is a lot of differences. But also, you've got to look at the way that they are conditioned for marketing.
It's a completely different upbringing, to be honest. It's very much like I was talking to people there, and I've had this conversation on here before, that I came from a family that didn't encourage me to get up and go to school every day, let alone like strive for what I want to do in my life. You know, I was a bit of a bad one when I was a kid. I know you'd never believe that of me.
I would believe it.
You know, and going to school was kind of like bottom of my list of things. I have better things to do than go to school. And I was very much like, I was a little bit of a dreamer as well as a kid. And I always wanted to do a lot more than what I was being taught. And I remember going to like we had a careers master at school, and I was probably like 14 or something like that. And I'm really, really into sports. I love my sports. I'd been dragged, like that was probably about the only interesting thing I did as a kid. And I used to actually skive off school to go to the Preston North End away games on a Tuesday night. And I wanted to be a sports journalist, but unfortunately I'm dyslexic. And I've overcome it quite a lot. But at 14, when you've got dyslexia and you say you want to be a sports journalist, you're laughed out of the place.
Yeah.
Like, just go and get a job in a factory or something. And that was what I was conditioned. That is how I was brought up. Well, you know, you're just going to leave school at 16 with not very many qualifications and get a job.
That's exactly what happened to me.
I was planned at 14.
That's what happened to me, Sam, because when I went to school, I wasn't dyslexic, but I was verging on illiteracy when I left school. Okay. And I've done all right for myself, you know.
Good on you.
Yeah. I had to re-educate myself and all the rest of it when I realised that I wanted to make something of myself.
Exactly.
You know, I'd end up working in warehouses or schlepping for the rest of my life. You know, But the point I wanted to make about the American thing is that if you listen, do you ever listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So if you ever listen to any of the podcasts from America, which I listen to a lot of technology ones, they'll all start in the same way. They'll say, this podcast is sponsored by, and 3 or 4 points throughout the podcast, now a word from our sponsors. And the thing is that the American audience don't have a problem with that.
No.
In the UK, I have a podcast channel. And if I did that on my podcast channel, I think that because it's a different audience for a start, and they're listening for different reasons, but they wouldn't appreciate it. You know, which I don't understand why, because we all watch TV with adverts and we've become conditioned to that.
But we go put the kettle on. We try and avoid them as much as possible.
Or fast forward.
Or fast forward.
We don't like being sold to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, when the door-to-door salesman comes knocking on the door.
Yeah.
You know, you can imagine the response they get from me, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I just wanted to make that point, really. And I'll dip back out again, but I'm listening. And if I think there's something else I can add, I'll jump back in again if you'll let me in.
Of course.
Then.
Oh, Paul's so nice.
Oh dear! Thanks for joining us, Paul.
But yeah, that's a big thing because they were talking about possibly doing a London Periscope community event, and I totally think that would have to be a different style because us as Europeans would have a different thing. You're doing Sydney and a London.
I know. Well, yeah, Sydney's going to be it's not going to be a challenge, but my daughter's got her end of leaving school exams just out, and so I may have to Wait, Sam, are you in the UK or Ireland? I'm in the UK today, Ireland next week. I live between the two. Yeah, so are you married? No, I'm divorced, Alex.
Oh, Alex is interesting here, Alex. Alex is going for this
discussion, Alex.
Alex is very single and ready to mingle by the sounds of it.
Pheromones again.
Just come across.
I can't believe people are tapping you up on here.
I know. She can't get away from it. It's ridiculous.
Like a week with this.
I know, and there's me on the side, just like...
Well, not Grinder, or whatever the hell it's called.
Definitely not Grinder.
Right. Hang on, Alex, I'll let you in. Oh, dear. You better be nice, Alex.
So, Phil, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. I've been listening to you, actually. I've just been doing some work, that 4-letter word. But I've been listening to you.
Yeah, that lovely word.
I've worked in the US for a while as well.
Right, we had a mess.
So I know the whole American gig is just totally different, and the clash of cultures is quite stark, really.
But you know what, Paul, is that you wanting to come back in, by the way, or are you like stuck in the seat? Just message me in the comments. Yeah, she wants to come back in. Okay, boom, I'll let you in.
Discussion going.
Paul's just
you didn't say you were single, Sam. Hey, Phil, back off. I'm trying to score.
This has been my life with Sam for a week. I'm like, geez, this is ridiculous.
She's got all that. Look at how embarrassed she's got now.
She loves
Feel the glow from here.
I'm now composing myself.
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for that. That's a lovely shade of red. I know, I'm getting a bit wet. Oh, dear me.
Don't knock it.
Sensible, Phil.
Okay, talk sensible, darling. Okay. Well, I'm up north too. I'm in Manchester, so I'm not too far away.
We've got the Northerners.
Yeah, I was with a client actually the other day in Preston.
Nice God. What did you visit, Preston?
Well, not too far out, just off the M65, isn't it, up there?
Oh, that's where I live.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I've got a client there, primary teaching services. They do stickers and stuff like that for schools. Yeah,
I live about 2 minutes away. You know that big castle just off the M65? Ridiculous.
Yeah, castle or castle.
Castle. It's a tower. But yeah, I live near that. Actually, it's where I live. I'm all Downton Abbey, mate, with my mates and my
Yeah. It is funny because some people were asking if we were from Downton Abbey.
I think it's interesting though, actually, because I know I'm going off on a tangent, so I apologise in advance, but I think it's very much, and I do a lot of the digital marketing and the content marketing stuff that you were talking about. And one of the things that you see when you're looking for trends and everything else, and authenticity is becoming really, really important.
Hot word.
It's like people are sick of all the BS, whether it's in politics. You see it massively in politics, don't you?
My phone's ringing. Somebody's actually ringing my house.
Yeah, I'll just be PPI.
I know, I'm not going
to... Maybe somebody who's been watching you on here trying to pull you again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said I'd get this. Okay, so... Yeah, so authenticity is really, really important.
Paul's put, it's me. Sorry, though.
Do you know what? That's a lovely glow. If it's snowing, I'm going to get back on here and talk to you again.
Please, nobody screen capture this.
Okay.
Oh, you're on the record as well, so it's all going to be...
that's it. It's
get it on YouTube. Get it on Facebook. So, yeah, I think that authenticity is really, really important now. And I think probably that's maybe where you have an advantage in that context, because you do come across as real, and people like that now, I think, more than ever before, because our bullshit radars are just so highly tuned now, aren't they?
Let's put it this way. Hannah did mention that she couldn't believe how highly tuned my bullshit radar was, that I was like calling things on day 1. And by day 5, Hannah was like, I don't believe you called that so right. There was a lot of things and a lot of people I was exceedingly spot on with. But I think perhaps that is just, I've been around in this game for a bloody long time now, and, you can spot a charlatan a mile off. Well, at least I hope I can anyway.
But it also, can I just say, it also revealed, it was a bit like a rumour mill. It's like, because when you've only got 400 people have a chat and a few drinks, and whoops, things slip out the mouth. And I have to say that it also showed that on camera, they seem like, 6-figure, 7-figure, amazing business, but in reality, that wasn't the case at all.
I think some people, when they refer to their 6-figure incomes, include the decimal point.
Yeah, it's just all garbage, mainly out of the US, I'm afraid, but it is true. It is.
Don't worry, it's not. There are some people in the UK are totally pulling the same stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They're always going to be out there.
Global phenomenon. Ooh, I said that quite well, didn't I?
But hopefully, in the live streaming
as well as I think in the US, there's obviously a much bigger market to go at. So you've got 350 million people.
Alex,
so of course, the law of averages says there'll be a 1 million.
Alex just made a really good point about you hanging out with some bullshitter that I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Phil. Sam just cut you off completely there.
It's just Alex made a really good point then. I was like, oh.
It's all right. I'm used to getting cut off by females regularly, so don't Sorry, I couldn't resist it.
But you know what, as well, I'm going to turn that one around a little bit in that, like you said, there's so many cultural differences between us and the US, but there's a lot we can learn from it as well because we are, the British reserved, oh, let's not do that. And actually, there's a lot to be said for just take that leap of faith and...
Yeah.
Go with it. Don't be afraid to actually put yourself out there and go, it's me. And I don't give a shit what you think. And if I'm going to walk around my little, wannabe middle-class white suburban neighbourhood here talking to my phone, and everyone would think I am totally crazy by doing that, so what? Because I'm okay with it. And if they're not okay with it, problem is actually with them. And I think as our Europeans, we don't put ourselves out there enough. So perhaps we can learn from our American friends in that respect.
Definitely.
We are more concerned about what people think who are probably the wrong kind of people for us. Are we concerned about... I mean, I've done it because, like I said, I live in little wannabe middle-class white suburbia, which I don't like, by the way. I have to say that quietly in case anyone heard me. But I do kind of think, oh, God, what will my neighbours think? And it was probably, to be honest, and Hannah knows this, I very much keep quiet to a lot of the people I know about what I do. And it's only recently I've been going, do you know what? Actually, I'm just going to tell you now, but I deal with celebrities, real ones, proper ones, ones that have millions of real fans. That's what I do. Do you know what else I do? I put it all on the internet as well. And it's only very recently I've started doing that to my own outside world, not my online world, because everyone knows me. And when I was in New York, I actually put so much stuff on my personal Facebook page about what I was doing. And do you know what resonated? The amount of people that came back and was like, do you know what, Sam? We just love you for who you are. Now, the people that I'd been avoiding knowing what I do because I knew they would be judgmental had zilch to say on the matter. And now I just got to them. But I'm okay with that. I'm like, do you know what? I put myself out there. I took a massive leap of faith going to New York, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Same here.
And that is
it says something about you and both. I think both of you were
making comments. We
both went.
I wrote a lot of that.
Sorry, Phil. Sam just cuts you off again.
No, she's always doing it.
Phil, I read the comments there. Me
already. It's us Northerners. You can't shut us up. We're just gobbing.
No, I'm a Northerner, but obviously I'm a bit more reserved than Sam.
Yeah, you're more respectful. think is the word I'm looking
yeah. Let's put that out there. I respect people's opinions.
You don't talk
up.
I forgot what I was going to say. I've completely lost it all.
I mean, she's basically getting hit on in Blab, which I've never even heard before. This is ridiculous. This has been my life with hanging out with Sam for a week. I was just like, yeah, just hanging around, and then I'm like, okay, all right, boys, you have fun there. No one put attention on me, just all on Sam, and I'll just walk off. See, she must have this. I don't know what it is, this aura about her.
The authenticity again, I think it's the authenticity thing.
It's so real, it hurts.
Yeah, there's not much going on here. There's like no difference. You know, imagine what it's like trying to live in a house with me.
No.
She is genuine. 100%, yeah.
There you right. Go on, Phil. You've something to tell us.
Yeah, Phil. Let's have.
Oh yeah, I've completely forgotten now. Well, what I'll say is that I've. As part of my background and career, I've worked in America and worked with a very large travel company in Phoenix, in Arizona, a place called Scott.
All right.
And it was really the cultural mismatch between. I ran the customer services and sales for the UK and Europe. But I spent a lot of time over at the HQ in Phoenix, in Arizona, or in Scottsdale, and the differences was just unbelievable, you know. There was the thing I didn't like, and you know, there's always exceptions, and I've got some really good cliche. Got some really good friends in America, and I really have. It's true. But the thing I think corporate Americans, particularly blokes, are a bit like, don't care who they squash, don't care but you know who they stab, don't care. They'll roll over you like a steamroller unless it's in their best interest. And I'm generalizing massively. So it doesn't mean all Americans like that. Far, far from it. I say I've got some really good friends. But corporate American guys seem to be really full of themselves. And but also, that unfortunately, that I also found them to be disingenuous as well. So to your face, they'd be very pally, very friendly, but at the same time, they're plotting in the background to get their own way, basically.
Yeah. And do you know what? That was one of the things as well I noticed last week, and obviously because my bullshit radars go woo quite a lot. I could almost see people.
It's the noise effect that I loved. That's what I wasn't even looking at you, and I was like, woo!
Anyway, you could almost see some people like going, and you knew the cogs were turning. Like my cogs turn all the time, but I keep it like back there, and then afterwards I gather my thoughts and go, do you know what? They could do this, could do this, could do this. Oh God, Alex is messaging me on Twitter now. Cheers, I'm a popular girl.
Oh my gosh, this is.
Oh, she's off again.
We should change the title to "Sam Wants a Boyfriend."
Well, do you know
DM
what?
her.
Do you know what? This was my big thing at the start of the year, right? That it took me a while to get rid of my last boyfriend. He didn't want to go away. I don't know why. And eventually, so you know when you write like your intentions of what you want to do for the year, I do it because it's the only way I can kind of have a little bit of focus. And I wrote all the places I wanted to visit, things I wanted to do. Down to I wrote like I wanted to go to Florida, I wanted to go to New York. That was wrote in January. I said I was going to go to New York this year with no plan of going to New York. Guess where I've just been? I wanted to go to Barbados again. Booked it. I also said that I wanted to spend my big birthday on a beach with a toy boy.
And
you're not there yet.
Just putting it out there.
So you're just trolling.
Putting it out there.
Trolling Blab to find a toy boy to stick. And I think I put a beer somewhere up here about saying how much more Blab was intelligent. And now we're all on the pull.
Yeah, this is kind of not.
Start doing.
It's not the example, isn't it?
On Blab. So I could pull them up on my phone like that and go, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And we have a little debate as to whether we're going to swipe right.
All these people come on here to try and get some intelligent insight into business and marketing and Periscope.
Talking about
come in the wrong room.
This was not the discussion I had planned. I'm telling you that now. No. You know, I wanted a nice, intelligent discussion about what we learned from Periscope.
I've said to a few people.
Loads.
I said to a few people, and including Paul, who was just on a minute ago, kind of started to get to know each other on here, and he's probably still listening. But it's like if you work, because I'm a consultant and a coach, I work a lot from home and stuff, home office and that, and it's amazing how Blab's become like the social interaction office of your home business.
Yes, definitely. It's the water cooler, as the Americans would say.
Coming here, you're listening like Paul is now, and you're listening, and then you, like I was earlier, and then you have a chat with people, and you disappear off, do a bit more stuff, and it's almost like it's like the office that perhaps you used to have that you missed. But the great thing is you turn it on and off.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, yes. It's like, to be fair, I work from home and Sam does as well. And it is kind of like you do miss the whole, that social element to it. Because sometimes it can be a day where you might not actually see someone, which is quite odd. But having Blab has totally changed it. And I find that people are loving it for this whole element of let's chat, let's discuss, or let's learn something, because we're always having to keep on our toes about things. So I really like Blab for that element of it. Definitely.
I'll help you in the chat there. Alex is saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it. Because it's like,
hello, the chat. That's not all about me, you know.
That's the thing, actually. I've noticed that when you get chatting and everything to everybody, reading what's down the right-hand side is actually quite a challenge at the same time. As I know men are crap at multitasking, but it's still tricky to read what's on there and answer stuff.
It is.
What Paul was saying the other day, because he went into the town hall thing, where they talk about.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you know now, but you can actually have somebody. You can give somebody co-hosting.
Yes. Oh yeah. Hang on.
That's which so it allows somebody else, a wingman, I think some people call it, wing person.
Yeah.
I don't know it. Oh, hang on. There, I did it.
Oh, and then I get a notification saying you've been made a co-host. Now you.
So that means now, so you could kind of
join it.
One of you can talk, and the other person can maybe read questions or whatever. And I think that's a really good idea. They seem to be really quick at the moment. In terms of the development, they seem to be listening to what people are saying and making that development very quickly.
I think a lot
almost within hours, if not days. Yeah.
I think a lot of these like newer apps now, like your Blab, your Periscope, your Meerkats, are all run by very small teams. They don't employ.
Yeah, Brittany was at the Periscope Summit, and she's from Blab.
And so they can make changes. It's not like, say, Facebook is an enormous company now, isn't it? So if they need to make a change, it has to go through. And also, because they're a PLC, they have to inform the stakeholders. It's a massive process to make any changes. It has to start at board level and trickle down to then the developer to say, yeah, okay, we can make that change. It'll go back up to board for them to approve it. So it takes an awful lot of time. Blab and Periscope are run by small teams. So if they suddenly say, I think we should do this, they can literally just go, right, huddle, are we going to do this? Yeah, right, let's do it. And that's it. Yeah. And I think that's the beauty. Oh my God, Sandra! Sandra, you have to come join us. It's Mom! Sandra, you've missed just fun. I got hit on again.
Hey, can you just not by me?
No, Phil's been very well behaved.
Say that. Everybody's coming on going, God, that ball geezer's hitting on that woman. I'll get
Alex is about to have a heart attack in the side.
Can I say, it wasn't me, honest. Not me.
No, Phil's good. I can vouch for Phil.
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
Bill was trying to add intelligent conversation to a moment of madness of pure passion and love from Alex to Sam. That's what was happening. And he's now stating that it's...
I'll tell you what's freaking me out, and it's really weird. I really kind of noticed it just now. Sam is the spitting image of one of my really close girlfriends, as in friend who's a girl. In fact, I'm even wondering whether I should get a picture of her on my phone now and just show you, because see what you think.
You know what? You're actually probably a world first today. I've not even put any makeup on before I came on today. I was a bit like, can't be arsed.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Hannah, I bet she has makeup on next time she's on. Now she knows she's getting all this attention. Oh, God, it'll be like
wearing a blooming... Hannah has to be wearing a ball gown.
Hannah had to sit through me doing my hair one day because I refused to leave the hotel room.
She had this really crazy I can't even say the word now. Contraption that did her hair.
But I do me hair.
Yeah. But can I just say, yes, Sandra, what did we learn? We learned that Sam has a lot of male attention when she leaves her home. Not even that now. Even on Blab, she gets all the attention. But yeah, what did we learn was about being authentic, being you, being true to who you are. And don't, copy other people's style of a Periscope as well. Just do what works for you and what your kind of community would like.
Oh,
yeah.
We're here now. I'll have to do my hair. Hey!
Hey, I got a quick question for you.
Oh, you sound like
you sound like a Dalek.
He's probably going to go, what the fucking hell's a Dalek?
Oh, boy.
Bad audio. Breaking up.
Or Little John on an auto-tune, either one.
It's breaking up on my end.
It's really bad on your... You sound like you're a robot. There we go.
Yeah. I think he's going to reboot.
Yeah.
But you're making me cry. I'm laughing that much today.
We did learn a lot of things. We did talk about at the start, and then obviously when I'm going to have to go as well because it's 1:30 and we've been on for 90 minutes.
Jesus.
How scary, Anna? How scary is it? It's like you're in a little coffee club, and it gets worse as you get to know people.
Because it is really bad.
More open, and you get more kind of chatty, and you get more. 2 hours have gone, and you've got look. That's why I said about Paul a minute ago. I think we see each other a lot on here. I think we're addicted. I think we need to Labs Anonymous or something.
Well, yeah, I did a few blabs on that. Kind of like, come on, people, be realistic. Put a timer by your computer. But I am
right. Alex has
it's so bad.
Question now. Let's be serious for a minute now, children.
Right.
Let's be serious.
Right. Listen, he doesn't have his headset, okay, but he wanted to know, Hannah, what did you take away from the summit, and what can you change, or what would you change?
Interesting. See, now I have the floor.
Have the power. Oh, it's you, girl.
I have the power. Yeah. So what I took away from it was community is very important. You may not think you have a community on Periscope, but you do. You just need to nurture them and learn what your purpose is and help them see your purpose and use it for good. Also, don't be selfish with it, because you may feel drained by sharing lots of value, but people will always remember the good stuff and how you make them feel. So if you do that, that's a biggie. Also, show a bit of you and your life, not just the room that you work in. So go outside, show them where you live, show them part of your life. And also what would I change? I would make it that when you're at the summit, there's actually different areas that people can hang out. So it isn't just a charging point. For example, in the conference hotel itself, there's a place that's the Periscope hangout section. So if you're by yourself for an hour, you can go there and talk to other people that you know are from the summit. But also make more social events around it, so that you can meet loads of people in ways that you feel comfortable about. So, for example, it could be that you have the summit days for so many days, but if there's like a free day, that the Periscope people organize like a group tourist thing, because a lot of people won't be from that town, for example.
Yes. I'm going to add to that because, you know, I like the sound of my own voice. At least I admit it. See, look, doppelganger. That's me when I have my hair.
Hannah, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it just look like. I think it kind of looks like her. I think I think
there are definitely others where she looks even more like her.
Oh yeah, and, that's quite creepy.
And she's crazy as well, so it could be a twin sister from another YouTuber.
Oh my God! Stop it, Alex.
I'm sorry. That was very rude.
Not you, Phil. Not you, Phil.
Yeah.
No, but I did interrupt your serious bit. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, what I would say as well is, gonna be controversial, but there was a little bit creeping in of a them and us situation.
Yeah, there was. That was bad.
Like us normal Joes and I'm a top scooper. Didn't affect me because I just plonk myself down in the middle of any old conversation and don't really give a shit and just go, right, I'm coming out with you now. I don't care if you like it or not. Because there was like the last 2 days everyone else had gone that I'd been hanging out with, and then I was there on my own. And it was cool. Like I just went with it. What I did notice that it was some people were kind of excluded a little bit because, I don't know, perhaps they're not as well known. So we're deemed to perhaps not have as much value to bring to the table when actually they probably do. Like, I don't even broadcast that much on Periscope because I'm the type of person, I thrive off the interaction of others. So hence I like this. Like, and you know, and I'm that person and how I tell you that you throw me into a room full of strangers and everyone will know me by the time I leave. That's my comfort zone and I'm very good at that. For me to sit here talking to my phone is a little bit frustrating because I want the people to talk back, not just make comments going, hi, hi. Like, I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, have a conversation with me. So from that respect, I was probably way down on the list of popularity contest scoopers. I was at the end of the list. But it didn't mean I had any less value to offer to conversation. Probably more so because I understand how the whole content systems work. So there potentially was that them and us situation, and I know a lot of other people have echoed that as well. So what I would say for the next event is eliminate that. Like, totally eliminate it. There ain't no them and us. Everyone hangs out in the same place. There's no segregation. Like, there's no, you know, oh, let's just have a meet up because you're in the Million Heart Club, or, you know, just little things like that. Because actually, everyone has something to offer. Alex is back. And sometimes you got headphones.
Does it sound all right?
You're cool now.
Yes, okay, cool. Sounds so much better now.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just talking about the whole them and us situation. And like I said, it didn't bother me as much because I don't really give a shit. And we'll just go, yeah, talk to me. I don't care. Some people were a little bit affected for it. One person was rude to me. Not going to name any names.
Was it Tasman?
No.
Oh, okay. No. I like just throwing out names.
Yeah, I don't have absolutely any intimate relationship with a lot of the people there. The people that I do have a relationship with know it. Yeah. So anybody that felt like they needed to elevate themselves by kind of feeling like they're better than anyone else, I can give two rat's ass about, and I won't name their names. So I don't have a problem. I don't have any connection with them. Now, I am part of the summit committee, so I have to restrain myself to a certain extent and be professional because they will be part of the next summit. But other than that, I don't care.
No, we did have the conversation about one person was, I don't think intentionally rude to me, but they kind of were a little bit excluded.
Wait, was it a he or she?
Not telling.
No. That's all I need. That's all I need to know. Was it? You can tell me, Sam. He or she. That's it.
It was a he.
Okay.
I'm not telling the full story on here.
No. It's okay. You don't have to. It
was quite funny about the whole people hitting on me thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. I was like, "Shut up, Sam. You're going to tell this story now. It's not for public consumption."
Who was hitting on you?
No, I'm not telling.
Oh, he's very clever at this. I like his skills on it.
You can have a guess. Yeah, and then their ego took a little bit of a splash when I didn't say anything. So they then thought it better to exclude me.
Okay.
I overcame that.
Sandra's like, you'll have to make an ebook about it.
Yeah,
the passions of Periscope.
Well, the amount of times I got hit on at the Periscope Summit.
Well, it wasn't that
raunchy stories from Periscope.
Well, Sam has that. Sam was very nice and outbringing. Like, she was just cool with everyone. She didn't come off like a complete dick. So she was just. And excuse my language.
It's always a good thing.
That's
fine.
Us Americans.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually Puerto Rican, but yeah. So what do you call it? So yeah, so I'm pretty sure she got hit on a lot by a lot of dudes out here. So.
I'm a big girl. I took it all in my stride.
Yeah, and the fact that she was like, she went out with everyone. Like, I saw you at the restaurant.
Yeah, Saturday night, wasn't it? We was out.
Yeah. I don't know. You were out with Dan and iDoc and all these peeps. So she's cool. She's not out there to be like, don't touch me or don't talk to me because I'm cute, blonde, and bubbly.
That's it. I have my come talk to me sign.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Yeah.
It's about there to avoid an open Bob situation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Hannah, I heard what you took away from the summit, and we have a survey that we are making it public to everyone who went, and I would love to get your ideas. That way I could shoot them up the chain and see what we can do. Now, a lot of the things here in New York happened so quickly due to the fact that we started out in one place and we had to switch it because we outgrew the place, right? That was number one. Then there was a big debacle whether people got an email saying to change, people didn't. At the end of the day, everybody still had a good time. I think like 3 people wanted their money back out of 700, right?
It's pretty good going.
Yeah. Then it happened that the person who was originally part of this whole summit thing, which I'm not gonna, I think it was Brad, man. He fucked everything up for everyone, and literally messed everything up. Like, he made sure that we almost failed, and even though he was a part of the summit committee, and so basically I kicked him out and brought myself in. And we were scouting places here in New York. So you were right. Like, it would be nice to have a partnership with like a tourism company that would give us some type of discount to say, hey, we got people coming from all over the world. They can go to you literally right down the street. Is it just my laptop, or is Alex like Paul very quiet? Seems to be.
No, I think
you're okay.
Mine's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that would be a good idea, right, for us to do.
I think that's good, especially with the Australian one, because there'll be Australians, but it's a big place and people are going to be traveling all over. So that is oh my God, Christina, that's a very interesting picture. Let's move away from that side of the screen. How did you do
it? Oh my God.
So immature. No, I like that idea of the tourism, because if you can like have it as an optional day for people that are going to be there for the summit. It'll be like, hey, do you want to do a tourist day as a big group together? And we're going to go have fun.
Yeah, especially in Sydney would be great, because we can go fight sharks or eat alligator or something. It'd be cool. So I think like a tour bus. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, a Periscope too.
Then it's like a party bus, but you're touring around as well, so people can still engage and interact with each other while seeing the sights.
So you understand that I'm stealing that idea and I'm naming it my own.
Yeah,
no,
I'm on the record.
You don't get many alligators though in Preston.
Ah.
No, you don't.
Well, you guys, now let me ask you a question. If we were to do one in London, right?
Do you know what I say? Don't go London. And I'll tell you why.
Whoa, controversial.
Come north. Go to Manchester, because it'll halve the costs straight away. Like, London is freaking expensive. Come north to Manchester, you'll halve the costs immediately. Plus, the tourist board will totally jump on board with it because they will actually love the opportunity to show the city. And if you went to Manchester Council or Manchester Tourism Board and said that we're going to bring 400 people to your city who are going to be scoping it live to the world, they will totally jump on board with it. London won't. London will just go, yeah, you just know the conference in town.
Just another one. Absolutely right, Sam. Yep. That's very true, that.
Like, for a publicity and a PR perspective, I think Manchester would far outweigh London.
Does that mean that Manchester, we will be actually overseeing the amount of people that live there if we bring more than 400 people?
Oh, it's not. Manchester's massive.
It's also the centre of the country, Alex, as well. So,
and it also means getting on my neck. I can go home in like 20 minutes.
So let me ask you something in a. All right, so now we're looking. Right, it's great. We have the idea, right? Okay, Manchester would be great. I love what you guys just said. In a marketing and advertising point, when I talk to an advertiser about, hey, we're going to be doing it in Manchester, right? As opposed to London, right? Because now in London, it's like being here in New York City. So when we said we were going to be in New York City, T-Mobile jumped on board immediately, right?
Yeah, I get that.
So when I bring it up to the table and I say, all right, John Laguerre, CEO of T-Mobile, I got this great plan to throw a summit out in Manchester instead of London. Well, why not London when we have the massive people there, this and that, right? And that's where it becomes a little bit tricky because we want to keep it obviously community wise, but also accessible to both ends of the party, to the community and to our advertisers.
I think even from a global trade point of view, Manchester is a lot bigger now than what it used to be. But obviously you've got the highlight, like you've got the football. It's mainly known for football, isn't it? Everyone goes, oh yeah, Manchester United.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, if you said, what are you doing?
I don't think it's time to tidy up right now.
But if you actually said to me, and you could actually...
I'm putting everything in the dishwasher. I gotta.
I was saying that as well. Anyway,
multitask.
Yeah, but Manchester has a lot of plus points to offer that I think on a global business trade people would accept. Like they're not just going to go, "Why are you going to that shithole?" Like because
the other big thing as well, Alex, is that the BBC is based here now.
Oh yeah, Media City. Yeah.
The Media City. It's been a lot of the BBC has migrated out of London into Manchester. And I think what Sam said is very true. You'll get a lot more publicity from it because the local paper and Manchester City Council, there's always a little bit of a us and them with London and Manchester because London always seems to get, in London, it's always getting everything. So Manchester and the authorities around Manchester tend to be up for anything that will give them a little bit of a heads up over London. So I think you'd get that sort of support.
Oh, I make it happen. Plus, because I used to work in the high-end nightclub trade in Manchester and all the cool stuff, and I have the contact.
I have to say, though, from an international point of view, I totally get why you've got to say London. I totally get it. And also, if you want to get big brands on board, naturally they're going to be like, oh, yeah, of course, London. But Manchester, yes, I think it would be maybe a better experience. And obviously there's an international airport, so getting in is not an issue. But I do think it depends what the goals are, because you've got to think it's an international people flying in. It isn't just the UK people that will be attending. Like New York was international, and you've got to think differently about it. That's the only thing.
So that's when we sit there and we have our meetings. you know, we have to think about, right, the people coming in from all over.
What about Dublin, Ireland?
Don't send me back to Dublin. I used to live in Dublin.
We have to think about staying, right? Like hospitality, where how big is it that people could actually move around? And then you have the whole stigma of it's London, right? So it's like it's a sideshow on its own, like New York City, right? So you come to New York City, you go to 42nd Street and Times Square, you're lost immediately. Now, not in the sense that like you're lost, you don't know where you're at. You're like, oh my God, I'm in New York City in Times Square, right? So with the same thing with, so when I go and I sit with Ryan and Kathy and Alice and Randall and I say, hey, listen, maybe we should go to Manchester. What are my selling points, right? Well, besides the fact that it's going to give us good publicity in newspapers over that, because people they're going to be more open to it because it's not London, right? What else, right? So I sit there and I say to them, what about London? What things we could take away from London that are not in Manchester, right? But when you say London, people are thinking, oh my God, I can go shopping, I can do this, I can do that, the train is there, I can hop down to Paris, I can do that. Like, not saying that that's not in Manchester either, but, and I'm not arguing that one is better than the other.
I get that from that angle,
I'm just sitting here like, that's a great idea. I would love to go to Manchester because I've already been to London. I thought, okay, it's just New York City with English accents. So I can just head over to Manchester and see what's out there, you know? Even get a flight paid for me to go and scout the area and see what's going on.
You just want to come and visit me, don't you?
Hell yeah. So.
God, she's off again.
I know.
Who needs an Airbnb when I could just be like, hey, Sam, can I just crash on your couch for a day or two?
Now, she'll get quite a reputation if that's what she's going to be, an Airbnb.
Oh my God, not like that though, Sam. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, let's warm our hands up on that face. Oh yeah.
She's so embarrassed. It's hilarious.
You're like a torch right now. My phone is heating up. Hold on. Oh my God.
God.
The dicks are hitting my face. Go away, dude.
I think I need to step away from the internet for a while.
Oh, so
I won't be doing this lazy live swipe right anymore. I'll just sit all day and go, okay, let's go.
No, right.
How many people are you trying to attract to it then, Alex? How many people would you expect to want to come?
Well, that's the thing too, right? So now that's a great question. We're looking at they just can't concentrate with these dicks hitting my face. So the way we got, is it just me or am I excited to see it? So the way I see it, right, is you say London, people are going to save up to go to it, and we're thinking about next fall, right around this time. You say
Johnny was here.
Yeah, you'll say Manchester. Yeah, he is. You'll say Manchester, and people will probably think the same thing, like, oh my God, it's England, I'm gonna go, right?
Yeah.
But we're looking at maybe just about the same amount, maybe 400 or more. Because people did fly international, go to New York, right? So we're spacing it out. Yeah. We're giving it enough, right? Now, England is big enough that people will see. Oh my God, England will be big and ridiculous. Yes. So England is big enough that we could attract everybody from all corners, right? Because what's a trip from west to east? It's like a.
In the country?
Yeah, in the country. It's like a 5-hour trip.
Well,
maybe?
Put it this way: from Manchester to London on the train, it's 2.5 hours.
Oh shit! See, then
it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah. So so we're talking about not even. It's the distance from here to South Jersey for me. You know?
Oh yeah. On an American scale, it's way smaller. Yeah. Way smaller.
Yeah. Because see, I flew.
Do a whole tour of the country.
I'm flying 6.5 hours, the same distance it takes for me to go from here to England. It takes me to go from here to San Francisco.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So
14 hours I have to sit on a plane to come from San Francisco. God love the person who ends up sat next to me.
Yeah, no.
They might be like ka-ching.
Yeah, that's true too. I hope I'm the one stuck there.
You'll have moved in with me by then, Alex, and we can go together as the first couple.
They'll be married. They'll have kids.
I would hope so.
I think we're moving a bit quick here, aren't we?
This is what happens with Blab. You make really quick connections.
Streaming, everything moves so fast.
I'm totally swiping right now.
Maybe could be the first Blab marriage.
Come to Australia. It's only 20 hours from New York. Chocolate Johnny. I will be in Sydney, Australia in May, my friend.
Is that when we're going? Is it May?
I'm going. Well, yeah, we're planning the summit for May. But not only am I planning the summit for May, I'm continuing. Just to segue a little bit here. I apologize. We're continuing to film the documentary with Dan Moore out there. So we're gonna go out there a week before the summit starts to get Dan Moore to get Dan Moore's story, Mitch, and finally get Chocolate Johnny on camera as well, because he's part of the whole group. He's part of the whole ecosystem of what we're doing, right? So yeah.
Sandra's just hitting up the comments here, and it's like I'm trying to not look at them because I'll start laughing my head off again.
No, I'm reading them too. Sounds like a reality TV show.
I know my boys in Australia, my two cute little brothers from another mother.
Dan and Mitch.
Yeah.
I love them. Dan, when I first met Dan the first day, we were at a rooftop party. It was Monday night. We were at a rooftop party. And I saw him. I kind of saw him. So I was like, yo, Dan, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, Alex, what's on? And he tries to pick me up. I'm like, you're drunk. Don't do it.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
Yeah, I don't want to fall off the roof. But no, he's really like I said before, and talking about the summit, going back to that, it felt really natural speaking to a lot of people, right? Going up to them, getting to know them, seeing them for the first time, and being able to physically give them a hug and tell them what an impact they've made in your life when you're speaking to them, when you're down, when they're coming on your broadcast and giving you support as well, you know? So that to me was just very, it made me feel good, you know? It made me feel happy that in this world, I'm 33 years old, right? So I grew up in the era where in the 90s when you just hang out with people, you used to go out, call them up on the phone, you know, maybe send them an IM through AOL Messenger and be like, hey, what are you doing? Let's go chill, right? That's as far as it went. We're talking about international friendships that we're making, where I have to keep a world clock on my phone. So I know when my friends are sleeping so that I don't scope and they miss it because they get mad at me for missing it. You know? Yeah, exactly, Johnny. I didn't shake hands with anybody. I gave everybody hugs all
It was all hugs.
I kid, except Sam, because I was a little bit intimidated. I was like, oh, hello. You know, so.
You went all gentleman on it.
I did. I actually went up to Sam and I was like, hello, young lady. And I shook her hand multiple times. So. What was that?
You should just send me on tour, shouldn't we?
I'm really sorry, but I actually need to go because I did not think this was going to be this long.
No, don't leave, Hannah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go.
Quit your job.
Stay, Hannah, to keep things in kind of some kind of check.
I know, it's going to go all to pot now. It's going to go madness.
With the anchor of the craziness.
Paul wants to make a comment. He'll be sensible.
Yeah, as Sandra says, I've got 40 days of shit to do. I've just made myself a 40-day plan, and I've got to, I can't be on Blab talking for hours.
What are we doing in 40 days?
Well, in 40 days, I go to Dubai and Hong Kong, so I've got to do a
What?
shit before I go away.
What are you doing out there?
You know, just hanging out. That's what I like to do. I wanted to go, so I'm just going.
What do you? I know you got to go, but do you mind me asking? What do you do for for work and a living?
I am a procrastination coach for people that work from home, that are solopreneurs, and he's frozen while making his dinner or his breakfast, whatever it is that he's making.
Oh, we lost out.
Oh. So yeah, what I do, I also do a bit for the family business as well. I do some of their marketing and stuff. But yeah, I basically, before I knew about Periscope or anything like this, I'd booked this trip at the start of the year. So I was like, I really want to go travel and see these places because I have an opportunity to do it now because of the style of business I have. And I was like, I'm just going to book it. I'm just going to do it. And it's ended up being really great. And then Periscope came along, so I've ended up doing a few trips this year. So that's me.
I know.
I've just sent you a LinkedIn request, Sam.
Oh God,
I'm not a stalker.
What is going on?
I've got an idea I want to run by you.
Yeah,
so
just email me, sam@sociallysam.com.
Right, okay, I'll do that.
Email LinkedIn,
Hannah, are you on LinkedIn?
No, I am not.
I don't particularly use it. Yeah, just email me, it's fine.
Okay, will do. No. Alex, are you on LinkedIn?
I think so. I probably haven't changed it in 17 years since it first came out.
Yeah.
LinkedIn's good, right?
So I'm on Tinder if you want to look for me.
Oh, I got it right. I'm off now.
No, sorry.
Gotta go now.
That's Sam's territory.
I have never used Tinder in my life. I have to. Oh, Paul's coming in. I have to say as well. Right, when I got back from New York, and my mum came to pick me up from the airport. I bribed her to come pick me up, and we're driving along in the car, and she went, "Oh, by the way, I've joined Twitter." I was like, "Shit, I need to get off there."
Your mom?
Yeah. My mom. Yeah.
My mom is actually on Periscope, and so is my dad. Now, mind you, I'm also the director of a Periscope community documentary, right? So, they're seeing all this video and all these places I'm going. They're like, that's the way they keep tabs on me because they're like, you're going everywhere all over the world. I
can't wait to say that. Can't wait.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, can't wait to see that. I just wanted to say,
mic out now, making the rest of us look shabby. Anyway,
I thought Hannah's job is quite interesting. A procrastination coach. I mean, I don't need any help procrastinating, and actually, and also, also is the. Blab is the best procrastinator help you're ever going to get because it's such a time suck. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, Sam,
what?
Professionally, because I'm looking at your profile.
All right.
In more ways than one, and I just wanted to know what you got from that summit. Professionally, that is. I don't want to know about people who are slagging you off or who are mean to you. I want to know what you got from it professionally so that when it comes to London, I'll give up some of my time to go and check it out.
What I got from it professionally, because obviously I work in social media.
Me too.
What I got from it professionally is that the content needs to change that's currently being produced. Probably my own content as well. I think my clients need to start looking a little bit more outside the box. Because unfortunately, when you work in social media, you can just follow the current trends rather than looking at actually how can we adopt this trend, make it a little bit different and make us a little bit more unique. So I think it certainly opened my eyes, business-wise, as to different things we can be doing. And different ways of approaching things. From my own business perspective, and I've always said this, that actually I could be totally non-existent on social media because my clients aren't finding me on social media because they're not on social media. Because they come to me and say, I need to be on social media and I'm not doing it at the moment, and can you help me? So for me, time for business, social media services, it's absolutely pointless. I might as well be using a chocolate teapot. So I actually kind of think, from my content point of view, perhaps I need to change it up a little bit, make it a little bit more about me and what I have to offer, rather than, these are the services I could offer, because my audience online aren't going to read that, because they're already on social media. They're already doing it. Probably the marketers following me to see what I'm doing. And it actually made me realise that perhaps I need to make it more not about me, as in like about me, but project me and my personality onto my business side more.
Interesting, because I get a lot of business from social media.
Do you?
I do actually, yeah. But most of my clients are already on social media, but just not doing it very well, and I show them how to do it better.
Yeah. I do get an element of that. But what I have found is my bigger clients, my better clients, are the one who are coming either from scratch or they've had someone do it for them before and totally mess it up.
Right.
But they never seem to find me via social media, more word of mouth.
Are you on Instagram by any chance?
Oh yeah.
What's your put your Instagram in the thing there? I'll follow you.
You know what's crazy?
Socially Sam.
What crazy to add to what Sam is saying. Sam is saying that's a good show name. The way I see it is right. Like so, Twitter comes out not a while back, right? And on top of Twitter, I was on it when it was the green logo and it was TWTTR. All right. So like I've been on it for a while now. Then I took off the account and then I started on the new Twitter, which is the rephased one, right, with the bird. And one thing I took away was I joined it back in 2009, right? And even back then, MySpace was still on top, right? It was still king. Facebook has just gone public a year ago, back in 2008. So I remember sitting there and doing Twitter and Facebook and using TweetDeck for businesses, even back then, okay? I had no idea what this would come about. And I was doing an article with a local newspaper here. They asked me, why am I using this the way I am for businesses and why am I charging, blah, 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 right? And I said to them, well, it's the mainstream. In about 5 years, this will be the way we capture our news and how we get everything going. Sure enough, when I got quoted saying that newsrooms will be using Twitter as a means of getting information so quickly, whether it's an emergency or a quote unquote celebrity, because I don't follow any celebrity. I believe that they're just regular people with more money, is having a baby, right? Because you have to, oh my God, this so-and-so is having a baby. I don't give a shit. Nobody's reporting when I'm having a baby, you know?
In fact, if you had a baby, it would be news.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the way I see it, right? And you guys are doing it right because you got clients and you're using it the right way. And even back then, we didn't think it was going to be like this. And here we are 7 to 8 years later, and people still don't know how to use social media right. It's not that we're experts. It's that we were early adopters. So we are born into it because we were early adopters. We took that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And what's happening is, and Phil and Sam and Paul, I don't know how old you guys are. To me, you guys are beautiful young people. We're still 2 generations behind that don't understand social media.
Yeah.
The millennials now understand social media. We created all of this for future use, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is Generation Z is, mind my language, fucking everything up for us because they're using it because they want to get famous or get noticed or get liked or get somewhere in life the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that in between those cracks, we find those people that are actually going to use social media the way we are and continue building it in a marketing standpoint.
Very good point.
Those are my 3 points. I'm dropping the mic.
Very good point, Alex. And I think that you must find this, Sam, when you're talking to your clients, that I hear all the time, they think that, just to be on social, just to have a Twitter account is enough.
Yeah.
But actually, they miss that generation you're talking about there, Alex, misses the biggest point of all. And it's actually in the title, social.
Social. Yeah. Exactly. I was just going to say that.
It's in the title.
Clue is in the title. You got social.
And you can't just be putting stuff out using a Hootsuite
correct, right.
A scheduler and but not actually talk to anyone.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, we lost Alex on the audio.
Okay, fucked in the head by some fella here. What's going on here?
No, I'm here. I'm answering a text message.
No, not you, Alex. Not you. But that is a very, very good point. And I think that the moment people who want to use it for business purposes realize there is no shortcut, social networking is no different to networking in the real world. If you go to a network business event, you must have been to loads of them, Sam. You go to a network.
I don't know anymore.
No, I don't.
Have you guys? Do you guys have Applebee's out there? Have you heard of
them?
We do. Yeah, we do.
Do we? Where?
Yeah, you can do it online.
Yeah. So Applebee's is a chain restaurant out here. I took my daughters out yesterday to eat. Right.
I'm thinking of a different Applebee's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm a single dad. I got a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I took them out to dinner to Applebee's, and we're there, and I took a picture. I tagged Applebee's. And in a second, a real life person from Applebee's got back to me And they were like, "Oh, so happy to see you there. What are you eating?" And I'm like, "Okay, maybe this is automated. Let's see." I tell them what I'm eating. Great choice. Can you send us some pictures of you and your daughter so that maybe we could put you on our social? I was like, there it is.
They get it.
Yeah,
they do.
They get it.
And
relevant.
No, absolutely. But the point I was going to make, and the way you treat social media or social networking in exactly the same way as you would treat real life networking. And I'm the same as you, Sam. I very rarely go to networking events now.
I literally go to like the local one once a year.
Yeah.
Bye, to the wife.
Yeah.
Bye.
But let me put this to you, Sam. Let me put this to you. If you went to a networking event and the room was packed of lots of different businesses from your local area, and you sat in the corner on a chair and didn't say anything to anybody, what would you get from it?
Hit on.
Yeah, we don't all have a natural good.
Wait, are you? But Paul, are you listening to what people are saying, or you just to learn and then apply it, or do you want to be more social and be on top of everything? Like, how would you like to? Like, if I went into a thing where I'm listening to you speak, and I'm like, I paid my hard-earned money, or even just if you're doing it for free, I'm there and I want to listen, right? And then apply it later on. Is that okay, or is sitting in a corner
depends
listening
on
back?
What I don't mean by a networking event, Alex, in the UK, and I'm sure you have them in America, you have like these business breakfasts, and you can sort of network and talk to people. They're boring as hell.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Exchange business cards, all that sort of stuff. Not a summit where you have keynote speakers. I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a networking event. But if you sat in the corner and didn't speak to anyone, you get nothing from it. You have to put yourself out there, talk to people, tell them what you do, listen to what they do, the social etiquette and all the rest of it. It's the same on social media.
It is, and I find very much like I said, I don't do the local ones anymore because I don't imagine me in a room of people that just want to give me a business card. It's like, and they even hand it to me, and I do say to them, I will lose that the minute I walk out of here. Like, and it's like, if you ever need my services, it's like, I don't know you. Who are you? I may hate you, so therefore I'm never going to give you any business. And that actually brings it back to the reason I said about my own business is that
Sam hates me
up and not be about, and this is what you can do with your social media, and that's what you can do with your marketing, and like everyone's doing that. That's boring. Like, yeah. But people will connect and want to do business with me because they like me. They're actually all right, you, and I give you some business.
That's the same in any sales, because when was the last time you bought something off someone you didn't like, even at Curry's or Dixon's?
Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of it, you need to, like you said, you just need to be social, put you out there for being you, whether that be that I'm going, actually, I'm a little bit bored today, or I need to have like a little thing. I'm going for a walk, and I'm probably going to end up playing on the swings at the end of my road. So let's scope it, because somebody will find that entertaining, but you don't know who's watching that. And when people watch they're going to find out who you are, they're going to be interested in you, and they're going to learn more. And
correct.
That is the direction a lot more people need to be going in as well. Like I said, just put yourself out there.
Right. Well, anyway, I'm going to go in a sec. I just wanted to say to Alex that I'll be very interested in a London or a Manchester Periscope Summit. That's something I would be very interested in. So make sure you keep me up to date on that. Just subscribe to your website. Actually, I did that yesterday.
Thank you. I just followed you too, so I'm going to keep tabs on you and see what you do.
Yeah, do. I mean, I use Periscope more to help my clients. I don't use it much myself.
Well, no, I don't, because I like to say to my clients, right, do this, and you can do this, and do this, and do this. You don't listen to me, but you know.
Well, one of my clients is a very large wildlife charity.
Right. But they've got so much content to put out.
Yeah, they have. And what I do is I go out with rangers now on the nature reserves, and we do periscopes actually from the nature reserves, and it's on the wildlife, on the flora, on the fauna, and it's a bit like a TV show almost, but for themselves, and it works really well. We get a lot of people watching it.
Very nice, guys.
Yeah. So anyway,
one of my clients produces steel pipes. We're in a creative stage at the moment.
You could get creative with that, Phil. You could get creative with that.
Tunes on the steel pipe. Hang on.
Do you know, actually, come to think of it, isn't it a great platform for doing brainstorming?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
because I the UK and Irish group, like we do like Wednesday at 10 a.m. to start all the bloody Yanks jumping in.
Bloody Yanks jumping in. Bloody Yanks jumping in.
10 a.m. usually. And I spoke to one of the guys on there. I don't know if Ed's actually in the broadcast. I saw him pop in earlier, but he's probably gone. He's probably sick of listening to me. And I was on the phone to him last night, and I actually said, "Oh, Alex," and I said,
what?
Actually, like
in
our little group, we need to like step it up. Because there's no point of the UK and Irish business community us saying, the Americans are monopolising these platforms. Well, they will do if we don't step up. Like, you've got to be the token Brit in the house sometime, or Irish person, or you have to do that. There's no point sitting there whinging and moaning and not doing anything. Going,
make it happen, Sam.
Make it happen. By the way, Alex, your eggs just reminded me of something.
What?
Well, I once said to a girl, "How do you like your eggs in the morning?" She went, "Unfertilised now, fuck off."
That's one for you, Sam.
That was
so gone downhill, hasn't it?
Well, this went from Periscope Summit to fertilized eggs. Not a problem. My kind of spiel. I'll take it.
Oh dear! Right, guys, I need to wrap this up because I do actually have work to do.
Me too.
That thing that pays for all these trips I go to, so Alex can perv over me.
Yeah.
Why? Wait a second. Why me? Out of all people, I know we met, but damn. She just single-handedly was like, that asshole right there.
Does that mean I'm not getting a birthday present now?
Yeah, you'll get your birthday present, all right.
I'm sure I will.
You
know what? Anyone joining this now is going to be
one of your favorite periscopers to your house.
Oh, damn.
All right, but it was a pleasure as well being on here. I gotta go because I gotta actually call one of my good friends. She's on here right now, Yo Pickles. Chelsea, we're gonna go talk the talk and do the do. Hopefully not in that same order. And so yeah, Sam, I'll hit you up later.
I'll talk to you later, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Phil, very nice meeting you, Phil. Take care.
Yeah, and you, bro. Take care, mate. I'll sure see you again.
Later, man.
Catch you later,
well,
man.
Take care.
Right, so I better actually wrap this up unless anyone else has anything to add because it has descended. It has. Yo Pickles is like, it has totally descended into live swipe right. And we have
an idea. I've got an idea, Sam.
What about live swipe right?
Get your mind out the gutter just for the last 2 minutes.
Okay, composed.
Right.
Composed.
Behave yourself.
Okay.
My
mum's watching. I have
Northwestern England, dear. I'm kidding, don't you? I think you do. Right, somebody's probably going to hear this now and then go and do it, but hey, who cares? Do you know what I think there's an opportunity for, and maybe we could start it in the Northwest? Some kind of get-together association for live broadcasters. Not just Periscope, not just Meerkat, not just Blab, but just people who are getting into live broadcast that other people who want to get into it could also get into. And
I think
do it early doors. Sorry?
I think a lot of people perhaps have so much to offer and so much to bring to a live streaming platform, whichever one it is. They're perhaps a little bit intimidated. They're perhaps a little bit, like I said I was, about putting it out there because, like, what are my neighbours going to think when they realise that, like, you know, I'm walking down the street talking to my phone. Like that.
Yeah.
You know, and
just touch early doors, and I think that there's definitely something everybody's got in common. I was saying Paul's going to nick it. I knew somebody'd nick it, but I'll let him. But actually, we could have, because I know Paul's down south in Surrey, I think you said, Paul. So maybe there's an opportunity there to start something, give it a brand.
Yeah.
You know, and then just we'll kind of cover, if you like, the northwest, and Paul could start it in the. He was coming in now. Paul could start it in the south, and. But now's the time, because it's really early adopter stage, and by the time everybody gets into it, if you can have grabbed the land grab and made it the kind of live broadcasters association, then there's your opportunity.
Well, live streamers association rather than broadcasters, because I mean, but I think it's a cracking idea, that, Phil, and I think you're the man to. And you can start it on this platform.
I'm going to post a link to the group I set up on Facebook, and I haven't updated it for a few days. And the reason why is because, like I said, like people weren't jumping on board with it, and there was so much talk about they wanted to do this, they wanted to do that, and then there was only me that ran with it.
There's always going to be leaders and followers, Sam, and you just have to stick with it.
There you go, links in the comments there.
Do you know, I remember, I'm digressing slightly, but it's relevant. I remember when I was very early on Twitter, won't bore you with the details, but I was very early on Twitter, just to put this into context, to the point whereby I was actually having one-to-one conversations with bloody Phil Schofield. It was that early on.
And Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
I used to have
it. So new, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now Twitter, and I'm sure you're the same. You used to mention Twitter in those days, and people wanted to put you in a straitjacket and throw you in a loony bin. I suspect this live streaming, as Paul puts it, I suspect will over time will become the norm, and we'll be then talking. Oh, do you remember when we used to talk on it and nobody else was on it? And blah,
do you remember Skype? Do you remember Skype?
Yeah, exactly. Remember the old days, and there used to be Skype. But I think that kind of the people get passionate about it, but there'll be a time scale by which critical mass will build. But I think that, and then it'll be the Wild West, as it always is, like it got to with Twitter.
Anyway, so I've got to go. But
we need to grab it now and become the recognised authority on live streaming, because we've been doing it, we've involved in it, we've got the networks, rather than waiting even few weeks, few months, and before you know it, then that land grab will have gone.
Love that idea. I've got to go now, but will you keep me up to date with that, Phil? Because I think you're on.
Sure, mate. Yeah, no worries. No worries.
All right, buddy.
I've got an idea. I've got an idea, another slightly separate idea, which I need to run by you, Paul, off here. Right. And I'll run it by you as well, Sam. So I was one of the reasons I was saying, have you got an email or something?
DM me.
I've got another idea of how we can use it, and I'd like you guys to get involved in it if you're interested in having a play.
DM me on Twitter, fella. I'd love to.
Yeah, all right, mate, I will.
Yeah. All right. See you, Sam. Nice.
You too. More live swipe right next week.
Yeah. Well, the best of luck. I don't think you'll have any problems. You might have problems finding time for Blab if you're trying to balance all your dates and all your meetups and all your, I mean, hey, don't knock it though. If you've got it, babe.
Oh, Christ, I seem to have it in abundance at the moment. It did get a bit like that, unfortunately, in New York. I was like, I'm into duck and dive a little bit.
You know what it's like? You may or may not remember this, but I'm old enough to remember the days of CB radio.
Yes.
And it's a bit the same scenarios happening on here, but obviously in a different way. But CB radio, there was little mini groups of people used to talk on CB radio. And it did become, to be brutally honest, it did become a pulling platform. Because you'd talk to people, you'd get to know people, and then you'd have what they used to call an eyeball.
Yeah.
And then you'd get together with people, like-minded people, and get in a pub and have a drink, and more very, very often people ended up in relationships and stuff like that.
But you can totally see how that would happen, because you connect it, especially like in this environment as well. And obviously I was there at Periscope. You're connecting with people that have a huge common interest with you.
Yeah.
That's not mainstream interest.
Yeah.
So whereas my regular friends in my regular real life circles probably think I'm a bit of a geek, like, yeah, I go to something like Periscope Summit and like, oh, you're kind of cool, and I'm like, peace out. And anyone who's seen my selfies from New York, I'd just be like, there was a lot of with the Pope. No,
I guess it is. I think it takes a while to find its feet, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It'll just be the same as everything else. There'll be relevance. So people start searching through and looking for things, and they'll think that's a room where they're going to be talking stuff that's either entertaining, which it might be like we went way off track, but it was probably entertaining to one or two total bozos out there, not you guys. But it was a bit entertaining, or it'll be educational or inspirational or whatever.
But you know what? There's no reason at all in the world why educational can't also be entertaining. And you know what? Like, for everything we've had on this blab today, I actually hope some people have learned stuff and learned about don't blow smoke up people's arses. It's not all about the heart content. Heart can't count, must be. And it's also about the content you put out and reconsider it. Because if it's dull as dishwater, that's the effect it's going to have on people. So, do you know what? As entertaining and as totally off topic as we did get at times on this blab, perhaps people did learn something.
Yeah.
There you go. Old Arkwright is saying, I have been here since the start and I enjoyed it today. Good. And do you know what? Even if you don't learn anything, but you take away the fact that you listened to me talk shite for 2.5 hours on a Wednesday afternoon and get hit up live on Blab, and it entertained you and it made your day, then I'm delighted with that. If I've put a smile on your face today...
Yeah, but I haven't got hit up. You've got bloody hit... Sorry, what's your language? You've got hit up. I ain't got hit up.
Oh, can somebody just hit Phil up, please?
No, don't, because if my other half finds out, I'll be right. You'll never see me again at that point. You'll be like, you're not going on there again. There's people like Sam Martin influencing you.
I am an influencer.
Bad influence.
I put a whole new meaning to the word. I'm an online influencer. A bad
influencer. What, though, listen, your ebook, How to Pull on Blab, could be a massive winner. What about grabbing that initial opportunity before anybody else has go for it? Well, now I've said it, Paul will do it now.
Yeah, but somebody else actually put in the comments there, Tiger Moro one. I'm in Oz and I've learned a lot and have been entertained. See, job done. We have been a success.
Yeah.
And like I said, if I've just put a smile on someone's face today, perhaps they woke up this morning and they were like a bit, and then they've listened to me drone on for 2.5 hours and all the entertainment that came with it, and they've gone away going, I feel a bit better about everything now. So
you're giving me a laugh. I'll say that without any shadow of a doubt.
So, job done. I have succeeded in my blab today.
You have, definitely. And I think the other thing as well is, for those of you that are watching, is also, for some of you who are watching, is also maybe giving people a bit more confidence to come on and give it a go.
Yeah,
because you and I are probably a bit gobby. True.
Me, gobby?
Yeah,
Where did you get that from?
Yeah, we are a bit, aren't we? So but it's intimidating, and I think particularly where a lot of people they frightens the hell out of them just the very idea of seeing the faces on the screen.
Mm.
And look, if you can be as ugly as this and still do it and still get on it, who gives the monkeys?
Hey, I turned up with no makeup, and I don't think I've even brushed my hair this morning.
No makeup.
No makeup.
I didn't brush my hair. I didn't brush my hair for a minute.
No, and it worked.
Works fine.
Right, time to go because we're hitting 2:30. I need to fill my very big coffee cup up. Actually, go and make some money so I can go on my hot date in San Francisco.
Yeah. No, so we can go on, make some money, and then we can come back on here again.
Oh God! I don't think
I'll drop you a line and I'll say that sort of thing I'm playing around with.
In the comments there for anyone who is UK and Irish business and wants to join our band of little merry men, trying to help each other on Periscope and Blab, but I seem to be the only person doing it. So we'll be back again very, very soon. Thank you for joining us today. I will put the replay up on my YouTube channel as well. If anybody wants 2.5 hours worth of entertainment in their life. Oh God! Right. Until next time. Bye.
Nice to meet you. See you again.